Hi, I'm Rania, and I love colors, especially pink, but I guess you figured that out yourself already, dressed up as a pink cloud, right? You know, there was a British survey conducted with over 1,000 people on how they perceive others based on the color of the clothes they wear. And guess what? Pink got the last place as the least intelligent color. So they mentioned that unless you're on a stage receiving a Nobel Prize for physics, try to avoid wearing it. But then again, I'm a risk taker, and I was always into art and design. And I'm here to talk to you about my three biggest passions, which is design, resiliency, and empathy. Having a blank canvas or a blank page was and still is one of the most terrifying things, right? It's not easy creating something from nothing, but that's the charm, that's the challenge. Besides design, I was also into sports, especially team sports. I think I went through 7 different kinds of sports. Everybody thought because of my height I should be a basketball player, but I actually ended up loving volleyball. And I was a volleyball player for 10 years. Operating a team requires strong empathy and connection with people. It's not an easy task. So from a young age, without realizing it, I was building a creative and athletic mindset, which defined me up to the person that I am today. It's about that combination of mindsets that I believe in can apply to you too. You don't need to be a designer or an athlete, right? It's the mindset behind it. And we live in an increasingly challenging world, and I do believe that everyone has a designer's mindset hidden within them, and you just need to nurture it, and that comes from a designer. So design is a service to the people and to the world, and I always wanted to be part of it by helping people, making them emotional, making them smile. That is the reason behind I'm still drawing for the people I love. And that is my key driver up till today behind every single thing that I design. Call it a sketch, call it a logo, an application, design thinking workshop, or a total digital transformation. Design has come a long way, and today is considered less of a decoration and more of an innovation. And design thinking, not sure how many of you have heard the term, but it's a very popular buzzword nowadays, especially London, UK, and the United States, which is actually how designers work and think. And design thinking partially lies in the creative process back in the 50s. And the 60s actually were really important because design, for the first time, was seen as it was actually named as the design science decade, right? And design was seen as a way to solve real human and environmental problems that economics or politics couldn't solve. And designers today, right, we are considered creative problem solvers. And design thinking has been defined as an essential tool for humanizing and simplifying. Humanizing here is the key word, not simplifying. Humanizing today is even more important than simplifying. I work in the intersection of design, technology, and business across the globe with many cultures, and I cannot highlight how important this is. Having empathy, building your empathy, and human creativity is what will separate us from machines and artificial intelligence. We have entered the 4th industrial revolution that blurs the lines between the digital and the physical worlds, such as the Internet of Things. My research paper 5 years ago was actually on how interaction design can inform the making of more humane, smart objects. And my conclusion was, basically, that no matter what technology we're dealing with or what we're designing for, humanity is the one that matters. But designing for humanity can be such a vague statement, and that is why we have to shift our mindsets. We are not wired for change. We are not wired for difficulties or challenges. And that is why I truly believe we have to build a creative, resilient, and empathetic mindset. So I refer to the word resilience quite often as I'm a high advocate of it. The definition of resilience is actually the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. And don't confuse it with endurance, which is to endure a challenging situation, right, without giving up. Now, athletes know really well about resilience and endurance. And that's what separates the highest achieving athletes in the rise to success, right? They work on the mental skills as hard as they do on their physical skills. This is actually a performance pyramid based on the research by Dr. Jack Lessig, who is the director in the Ohio Center for Sports Psychology. And based on his research, he defined those 9 mental skills for successful athletes. And it can apply to you too. As you can see, it's divided in 3 levels. We got the basic skill, preparatory skills, and performance skills. Basic skills, such as having a positive attitude, being nice and to yourself, and having strong motivation. These are skills you can practice daily for a long-term goal. Then we have the preparatory skills, which are great before the action, before a game, before an exam, or before a presentation, such as positive self-talk and positive mental imagery. And then the most crucial ones, right, while you're in action, things like managing your anxiety, managing your emotions, and of course, keeping concentration, especially one of the hardest things today with the digital era we're living today. So creativity and resilience can be such a powerful combination. The best athletes in the world are the most creative. The likes of Michael Jordan, Serena Williams, Lionel Messi, right? They're creative. They use their imagination and their creativity to defy convention, right? To reinvent their routine, to be game changers, and inspire more people into the sports. And on the other side, designers, we need resilience. We need resilience in order to achieve that great idea people think we're just sitting in our sofa and looking at the sky. It doesn't happen that way. And we also need resilience to convince our clients and other people that this is a great idea. Talking from experience, a lot of resilience there. So one of my favorite stories is this. There was this startup, right, that launched 51 games. And they were close to bankruptcy. But they had one last try, right? And their designer, their only designer back then, was sketching ideas every day, until he came up with that one idea that changed history as the most downloadable freemium game. 3 billion downloads, to be exact, right? And then it became its own movie, a franchise, its own brand, basically. The game I'm talking about is Angry Birds. Exactly. It is actually a fascinating story of what creativity and resilience can do together. It's not an accident. And of course, there are other factors and other stories out there. So why I'm so interested in design resiliency, though? Design resiliency was what kept me, personally, going through any emotional or physical challenge I might have had in my life. And at this point, I'd like to share with you my biggest challenge. That's why we're here, sharing stories. I'll be 30 next week. That's not my biggest challenge. I saw some faces here. I'll be, though, 7th of March, to be precise. But 3 years ago, I was diagnosed with a tumor on my pancreas, which thankfully was benign and left me with 30% of it still functioning, and that's why I can be here sharing that story. So I'm not going to get into details. I spent 2 months in the hospital, and during my time there, I couldn't talk, I couldn't walk, I couldn't see well, you get the drill. So my only request was to fill up the room with colorful, bright flowers and posters, so I could still see and feel the color. And what I realized on that point is that having that creative and resilient mindset is what turned disbelief into belief and pain into power, right? And that's the point, on your weakest point, right? We all get challenged, we all have challenges. But on your weakest point is when you realize who you truly are and what do you truly need. And I needed colors in my life. So that's actually, I didn't know I had a picture, but this is the thank you note I was writing to my doctors, my surgeons. Actually, that's the terrible handwriting of my friend. God bless her, because I couldn't write, so she was writing that for me. And alongside those 10 pages, I felt a writer that day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Actually, I said that when I'm out of here, I'll be the best version of myself. Not being the best for just the sake of it, for being the best, but become the best version of myself, whatever that means. Long story short, after 5 months of recovery, I got back on my feet, and that's what happened. Sorry. Right? I went back to work, and everything has changed. Leadership, people, teams. But I had a completely new viewpoint in life, and I went straight back to the green. I started working relentlessly, traveled the world, 45 flights in a year. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. Start mentoring, helping, spending my weekends, my evenings, mentoring, designing, reading, right? And I had this eureka moment. I was like 27, right? I have the energy to do all that. Why I wasn't doing it all this time, What I'm trying to say here is that through passion, commitment, resilience, and a bit of luck, I created my opportunity to start blank. I created my dream job, which, by the way, doesn't exist, okay? You have to create your dream jobs. You have to chase for that. I met some of the most inspiring people I've ever met in my life, and they guided me even further, have some great mentors. And what I'm trying to say here, you don't have to get sick or have something serious happening to your life to take actions, right? We hear it all the time. But honestly, trust me, you don't want that. So, building the right mindset is everything, and we can do it at any stage. 18, 20, 25, 50, 60, doesn't matter, right? We can all change our mindset if we want to. Have a strong spirit and take actions. Talking about spirit, I'm frequently asked now during interviews, Rania, was it hard or an obstacle that you are a Greek woman, not Greek or a woman, but a Greek woman, is like we're in our own species. Interesting, right? Wearing pink. In the world of design and technology in London, across the globe. I'm like, no, I haven't thought of that, and I'm proud to be Greek, very proud. However, it was hard to be a Greek woman in Greece in the world of design and technology. I've been here, and I hope things will change. And that's one of my messages out there. So don't accept any reality. Challenge it instead. Try to make things better. Just take ownership. Growth happens outside our comfort zone. This is outside my comfort zone. And as a designer, I don't even know what comfort zone is anymore, really. We don't know. And this is actually, I want to show you one of my favorite examples. 10 years ago, that was a university project, actually. And we had one of those briefs, those creative briefs, create something, abstract, art, whatever. I was busting my head 3 weeks to get an idea. I just couldn't. Until one night, I was brushing my teeth, and apparently, I found it was a cool idea to take the shaving foam from my bathroom, walk down the parking lot, and write, "Where were you last night?" Okay. And then climb up a ladder, find the ladder, actually, climb up the ladder and take 300 pictures of it. And then clean it up and do the same thing, other parking lots, until the security would start chasing me and I had to stop. So, yeah, England is an amazing place. So, long story short, my professors loved it, right? They gave me the best grade, and it got me shortlisted at the DNA New Blood exhibition, which showcases the best student talents in the country. Right? What I'm trying to say here is that the creative process is so powerful, we can all learn from that. Is the idea of not having a preset direction, but you know where you want to go, right? As for resilience and endurance, is what you do after you get tired. We all get tired, we all get exhausted. What do you do after that? That's the question, that's what separates you. And by the way, at some point, you'll receive help from other people. Don't ever take anyone's time or help for granted. Other people will help you, and they'll help you achieve your goals. Make sure you return this back. Athletes have coaches, designers have mentors. Simple as that. And that leads me to summarizing what I figure worked for me, and I'm sure it can work for you too. By highlighting 3 things you can all take actions on, right? Number one, embrace your creativity. We all have it. It's natural. It's a human behavior. There are no creative, not creative people. We're all creative. Two, build your resilience. We build our resilience, right? And three, don't forget to be humane. Be nice. Be kind. We need it. I work in technology. We need it. So tomorrow is not yet written. You are in the process of writing it, literally. That's why you're here today, right? There is a blank page, literally in your bags. Sure, I brought them from London, waiting for you to fill in. So 3 things. Be creative, be resilient, and be humane. Thank you very much. Ευχαριστώ πολύ.